Vlad ban coming in from Millenium.
Celiver was just, I mean, it was unbelievable to see how much pressure him and Veggie, put on the game. So I'm really excited. Whoever's playing this will most likely see the matchup against M5. And if it is EXACL, now Absolute Legends EU, then it will be a rematch from, the previous qualifiers. I'm sure they've played each other a number of times.
They've played each other so much, it's crazy. But I want to go back. I want to go back and actually find out who's actually won more in that. Because a lot of.
I'm going to assume M5.
If it is, I mean, I think it's a very slim margin though. And I'll have to do the math. I'll have to do the math later. But right now, still got bans going down. Urgot sticking with the guns. So Millenium, if they're gonna stick with the rest of the bans, like similar to what they did game 1, they're leaving either Lee Sin or Kassadin open. So, and both of them can be pretty brutal if game hits mid late game. Kassadin and Lee Sin can both be just absolute monsters.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, Kassadin is really a snowball champion, and so just imagining, if we saw a Kassadin mid played with the same proficiency as that Vladimir, and how devastating that could look like. It's a weird pick though. It would be a very late pick if we saw it. And Kassadin doesn't really fit into a lot of team comps in this kind of meta. But we'll see. It'll definitely be fun.
Well, they're both being left open, though.
Yeah, a lot of kind of standard bans. Nocturne actually banned by AL, so they wanted to have something for the first pick. Didn't want to give up the second and third pick, Nocturne. So we could see a Nautilus. We could see.
I think this might be a Soraka actually. This could very well
works.
be a Soraka first pick because Soraka did so much for them in game 1.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Vladimir's low. I'm going to take a little trip and save my best buddy in the mid.
And the thing is, a lot of tanky teams is what we're seeing right now. We just see these teams that are just absolutely unkillable. And Soraka, that's what Soraka does. You counter out, physical champions with your armor. You counter out magic champions with your burst heal. So just an all-around strong champion. But Corki,
Corki's still not bad.
Yeah, Corki's definitely a really strong bot lane champ. And if I don't know if that's the champ that you're really comfortable with, that's always a safe pick.
Yep. Now, Lee Sin, was left open. Millenium did try to ban him out. Millenium did ban him out game 1, but he's still available. Kassadin is also available, but Kassadin's not someone you really want to pick early. He can get shut down in mid pretty easy. Sometimes even just AD mids, you can run that there. Tryndamere mid does great. Talon mid actually does pretty okay for himself as well. But I don't know. I think the Teemo pick right there, potential Teemo pick, is a little bit of a troll, but we'll see if they go over Teemo.
There's no way that he's picking Teemo.
Well, now that you said it, now he's probably going to do it.
By all means, pick Teemo. It's not happening. We will see the Lee Sin.
Yeah, Lee Sin jungle, Lee Sin top lane, both very huge threats. There we go. Okay, so switching up Morgana and Soraka.
That's both of those picks are better. I mean, Lee Sin, he is a very versatile pick, so you can pick him early. It is nice. Well, but the issue is you play Lee Sin against, you open up the opportunity for them to pick a nice AoE comp that can kind of counter you out some or really strong top lane champions.
But that's the thing, though. Morgana really didn't work out for Millennium last game.
Yeah.
Most because of the Vlad, but we could see.
I'm okay with the Draven pick, though. Teemo, we got Teemo out of here, but Draven, let's
actually,
throw that into the mix.
Hold on. Do you think that could actually be a Draven mid?
No.
I mean, it is the spell shield. The spell shield doesn't do jack against physical damage. Plus, if you
he'd be walking right into the snare.
He does have the steroid though. If Morgana misses, okay. I was gonna say, if Morgana misses a bind,
Morgana just walks up and ults Draven. He's gonna walk up and he's gonna be like, "Haha! I attack you!" And then Morgana ults him to the face. He doesn't have enough mobility. He's very good, I think, and I think we'll see a lot of him, but not this soon, and not against Morgana.
This is strange though. Sejuani pick coming in. Would have rather. I mean, if you're gonna go for a jungler like that, I'd rather see a Nautilus. But there is a lot of damage that can come out from Sejuani later on in the game. But I don't know. We don't see a lot of her.
It's really, you look at the Sejuani pick, and compared with Nautilus, her damage is lower. Compared with Nautilus, her ganks are less effective. Compared with Nautilus, she's a slower jungler. Compared with Nautilus, she's not as tanky. So just an all-around struck. I'm just kidding. Sejuani, Sejuani does have some nice strengths to her. Case in point, the ultimate is, absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best initiation abilities in the game. The reason we don't see Sejuani being used is the fact that her damage output is so low otherwise that it slows down her jungle, and also for ganks, it's okay, but you need high damage lanes in order to capitalize on ganks. So Sejuani, for a long time, she's been borderline viable. Like she's had enough damage where Sejuani definitely works in certain team comps. The only issue is you tend to need to build team comps around her, and she's more of a support jungler, and you don't usually want to build a team comp around a support jungler. You want them to just do their job and not whine about it. But Sejuani, she works very well with an AoE team. We will have a lot of movement speed. We'll see how it works out. I think it's really just they're comfortable with this pick, and if you've been running something, you're comfortable with it, you've kind of figured it out, then you can work with it. But actually, it might be a Sejuani top. We'll have to see. I don't think that these are actually going to be the picks. It's probably going to be a Tarek and then a. Oh no, we have Janna. So
it could be.
It could be
mid?
It could be a Janna mid, but it's going to be most likely Corki and Soraka bottom.
Get some AP Janna going on. That'd be pretty crazy. All the picks still trying to figure out. There we go.
Nice.
Alistar.
Very nice.
Ezreal.
So I'm actually extremely excited about this. This is awesome. So here's one of the things. I still would have liked the Nautilus pick a little bit better, but we have a double AD team. It is going to be most likely Alistar or Janna in the mid. I'm guessing it's going to be Janna. So an AP Janna with Corki in the top lane, and then Ezreal bottom. I mean, that's not for sure yet. That's not decided, but that's the most likely situation. So we have Ezreal and Alistar bottom, which is a really strong lane. Ezreal has so much harass, and we have a lot of kill potential with Alistar, and then Corki in the top lane. And I love double AD comps. They're so much fun. You have so much damage, particularly against HP heavy champions. When you have HP heavy champions, you need more damage output. You just can't take them down with a double AP. And so we've seen some double AD comps, but it's not common. And this is just so cool for Absolute Legends to pull this out.
And then
bravo, sirs.
If you get the pulverize, if you get the tornado, that's just setting it all up for the Sejuani ult. You're keeping them still. You're keeping them in one place. And it's all the time for all the damage from Corki and Ezreal to get everything they need. Yikes.
Wow, and actually, right now, instead of sending Corki top, they have it set up where it's Janna top and then Corki mid. We'll see if they switch that up. But it's actually a really interesting comp. So Celiver, he recognized, hey, last game, I just destroyed Archagod. I had his number all game. And Corki versus ADs is just one of the most devastating matchups in the game. Versus APs. Most AD champs do extremely well against AP champs. They have the burst, but early on, before they hit levels, they don't have enough burst damage. They need to get quick levels. So the AD just walks up and destroys them right to the face. Corki in particular is a really strong pick against those kind of champions. So it is actually going to be Janna in the top lane and then Corki mid, and Celiver just looking to absolutely destroy Archagod once again, not even give him an opportunity to get into this game.
And also, I also see with the double AD, it's a lot of single. You're just going to be focusing on one champion, just going through the pecking order, which also reduces the effectiveness of the Maokai ult. I mean, if you're going, Maokai ult does fantastic against huge AoE comps, but a lot of the AoE here from Absolute Legends is there not for the damage, but for the disruption. So with that, I think
it does well against single target as well. It just makes everyone tankier, which is nice. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they have so much burst. I love double AD. It's nice. But the double AD, the thing with the Sejuani and the Nautilus, those are both two common junglers when you're running a double AD. Is they're so tanky and have so much disable in the front line that normally when you're running a double AD, you're like, oh, my AD, they're going to be weak. They're going to be vulnerable in the back line, and people are just going to dive them. Maokai in particular and Singed are both really strong kind of diving champions. But Corki and Ezreal are very safe. We have Sejuani for the frontline tanking. We have Alistar for the frontline taking so much CC. We have Janna for the backup. So Janna, AP, Janna mid. This is just all around, or it's actually Janna top. This is just an all-around awesome comp.
Now, I think right now, though, Millenium does still have a
of course.
No, Millenium does still have a saving grace with the Kog'Maw. If Kog'Maw gets ridiculously farmed, you can go ahead on the far back line, just keep on firing off the living artillery. You can chunk out, you can manage to chunk out one of the ADs on AL. Kind of the comp falls apart a little bit.
A little bit, but they're actually going to have enough range where there's almost zero chance that Kog'Maw is going to be able to wear them down at all or attack them, because Corki and Ezreal are extremely safe. They will have that frontline damage, so they are going to be fine there. I'm really curious how this Singed pick is going to work out for them. And
Singed is not someone you see very often.
Right, and he's kind of, I always love, how Dyrus puts it, he's kind of a troll pick, and I just imagine, like, you're playing Singed, and you're just running around, with your hands waving in the air, like, just singing, I always think of the song, what's the song? It's,
I don't imagine him
laughing
running
in the sunset, living in the sunlight,
around.
having a wonderful
Tiny
Tiny
Tim.
Tim.
Going
I always
up.
imagine that song when you're playing Singed. And that's just how you go. La, da, 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 da.
When I was first starting to play, someone actually did a better analogy. I think I like a little bit better. He's not someone who runs around and waves his arms and sings. He's just someone who just runs around and farts, because that's really mostly what he's going to be doing for most of these team fights. But he has the capability of getting super, super tanky, though.
Yeah.
I can see a Glacial Shroud instead of Frozen Heart being built on him really quick.
And that's definitely going to be an issue for them, is the fact that Singed can kind of shrug off some of that CC, run right into their ADs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Janna versus Singed is going to be a really interesting top lane. So Janna, should have an advantage over that. Janna's just going to be harassing Singed down so aggressively. We'll see how that kind of works out.
Who would have thought?
But the thing is, Singed, a lot of times he's actually weak in lane. But what he'll want to do is, just walk right up to you, toss you back into the fray, just get the fling off, and then, get off some of that poison damage. Against Janna can just throw off a whirlwind and then back off, or even just throw off a slow and then back off. And Janna will be very safe in that lane. It's going to be so difficult for Singed to get any harass. And all the meanwhile, Kiki's is just going to be slapping him across the face. Just the entire time. And it should shut down Singed's farm. And if you can shut down that farm, then you're going to be in a good situation. But again, we have the aggressive Maokai ganks, but we saw how Veggie countered that out last time. This time, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Nocturne doesn't have as strong of a ganking presence or, counter jungling capabilities as Nocturne by a long margin. And so Najik should be free to kind of roam around, get off some kills maybe, and if they can get that working, then Millenium, could just be absolutely devastating this game. And the big thing is, Sejuani, she's no Nocturne, but she does have great initiation and great disables.
So now I'm just also thinking about the damage output also from Millenium, because Singed, all of his damage is from really running around in circles and poisoning. You get an occasional flip in there as well, but I'm pretty sure that Janna top will be able to pretty much escape anything that Millenium has to offer. I don't think there's going to be really a whole lot of action. I still think one of the main focuses, the main focus for Millenium for the Maokais is try and still get ganks down on that bot lane, because with the Alistar bot, it's gonna be a lot of aggression. There's gonna be a lot of aggression there. So you might want to go ahead and try and counteract that with frequent ganks. And
Soraka actually coming up drops the ward, so they will have a nice understanding of where Sejuani's going, which is definitely nice. The thing with Sejuani, which will be interesting to see how they kind of work this around, is who is Sejuani going to get kills off on. And Morgana, has the shield, is pretty safe, will be able to snare Sejuani right to the face, no big deal. Singed is actually probably going to be too tanky for them to take down. So even though Janna has an advantage over Singed, Janna can, harass him down and prevent some of that farm. Sejuani, when we see a Sejuani gank come in, they're just going to be chasing after Singed through the poison. Like, why are you not dying? And just they don't have any, say in the matter. So, bot lane is primarily where we're going to see the aggression, and both Kog and Soraka are very vulnerable in that bottom lane, but we do see a quick invade from Millenium, see if they can slow down anyone, or if Corki walks right into him.
Claver, he has not bought a skill yet. You're going to be trying to get the leash there. There is the bind onto Slaver into the mid. Does get the flip from Singed. Will he be able to get away? Buys the Valkyrie first. Is able to actually get away just in time. Millenium is still in pursuit, but they may actually end up be giving the blue up. And there's not really a whole lot Sejuani can do about it, apart from a Smite Seal, which can be pretty risky. Corki, why are you still here? One more bind and you're actually going to be going. But actually, there we go. Najik just getting the Smite just in time to take that away. Now Sejuani is going to be a little bit behind, but we mentioned before about ganking lanes. I actually would not be too surprised if Sejuani just kind of, refrains from ganking, just really focuses on farming up. You know, like wait till you hit 6.
No,
wait
that's
till you get the ult, and just just let the lanes work themselves out.
That's definitely something that you're going to want to do as Sejuani, but she's just kind of a little bit slow. So,
Yeah.
you know, she will be about the same jungling speed as Maokai. She's not like super slow. She's just not a fast jungler, and so
Yeah.
you know, we'll see. She is going for that red buff, but you know, the big thing with the gank, they didn't get off a kill, but it opened up the possibility for them to steal that blue. And Sejuani needs to be spamming abilities to speed up her jungle some. We'll see how Sejuani kind of builds, because I've seen a couple of different builds. We have the bind on the Celiver though, taking some quick damage, and actually the headbutt into the pulverize. So we have Cog pinned against the wall, but now chasing them back with the Soraka will be pretty safe. Ezreal, you know, has a lot of burst damage, but if they, you know, get low against the Soraka, that'll be advantage for Cog and Soraka.
Yeah.
But so far, you know, we'll have to see. I mean, we're going to start seeing some increased aggression by Corki, and as long as Corki can avoid the binds, Corki's going to be great and just be able to win that lane easily against Morgana. But if the binds do come in, you know, he's going to have to watch out. The Maokai, though, he can Valkyrie out with the Maokai to advance and should be able to get himself enough distance, even though it does follow.
Anyway, this is not something you see every day. A Janna
pushing. Janna's going to get the bind, and Maokai's right there. There's the twisted advance into the bind, so he is going to go down. First blood for Archigod.
I was about to say, though, while we were focusing on top lane right before that kill in mid, this is not something you see every day. A Janna pushing a Singe to tower. That's just unheard of in my mind. Is it just, you know, being extremely effective here top lane, because you usually Singe top lane, he just goes around, throws the poison, farms up, and you usually use the one on a pushing end, but this is kind of ridiculous.
That's why Singe, he's going for the fast Philosopher's Stone. He could do a triple gold pretend build. You know, Cages and Heart of Gold all work very well with him, or he could just transition into a Rod of Ages. And so he's looking to farm, but he knows it's going to be a struggle. We have, once again, the headbutt into the Pulverize, so much damage. Unfortunately, the Arcane Shift doesn't hit its target, but even so, they get some nice burst. But again, Soraka just backing off and then, you know, healing up. No big deal.
Just heal the Cog, and Cog can just go ahead and retaliate.
But Maokai coming up in this top lane. We have Singed as well, if we can get that toss onto Janna.
Janna's waiting in the bush. Magic is a little bit, he's in the river waiting for his opportunity, but Janna's just going ahead and just recall it in the bush. And now Veggie there in the mid with the red buff, seeing what can happen against Morgana. Morgana almost face checks, but there you go. That is Veggie's Q. Shield going up, resisting all the slow, but we'll have to flash over the wall and escape. So flash blown, successful gank. Sejuani is just going to go ahead and back in farm.
Yeah, and so with that flash down, that's definitely going to be a nice little benefit for you know, Celiver. At least he's not behind now with that flash. But Maokai, you know, definitely is going to have a lot more control over this game, and that's what we're seeing so far. He's got the double buff. You know, Sejuani has kept up, so it is still pretty even. Once Sejuani hits 6, then we'll see a little bit more aggression. But again, you know, it comes down to where you're going to gank. There's a nice little ward for Millennium, and so they actually can bait him in. If Veggie comes in, they can trap him with Maokai.
Pinched. Gonna dash out of the bush though just in time. Slaver's gonna try and get as much damage as possible with Veggie. Are you gonna be able to get out of there? If you're not, you're gonna be the last little ping, but there you go. Archigod not too far away. The slow coming from Janna, and Kiki's will actually go ahead and pick that one up, and now Magic is in a little bit of a retreat, trying to get back to safety, but man, that was hairy. That was really close.
Yeah. But awesome play by Kiki's, and he recognized, all right, I've got, you know, such great mobility. I can get in here, you know, no big deal. So you know, he's able with the Janna passive. That is one benefit of you know, for Sejuani. But nice little map awareness there, and again, just doing a pretty decent job against Janna. Actually, Singe. Singe has actually kept this lane even, which is a little bit surprising. And with that gold pretend, you know, they are even in farm. So. Really nice job, Singe. He's actually level 6 first because he is pushing.
Yep, so we're going to have to see. Janna does also have her own Philo Stone as well. So you're going to try and counteract some of the gold gain going on in top lane. But also keep in mind, she now has a kill credit on her as well. So there's a little bit extra gold, a little bit XP. It's about 20 creeps. So there's that's a little bit of room now for Singe to catch up. And Singe is not usually...
He's actually trying to get some nice harass. And
trying.
He can actually just clear those creep waves. So really nice play by Singe. He recognizes, I don't want to just sit, you know, there and allow Janna to harass me. I'll just run around, clear the creep waves. And now Janna has to run around and avoid that poison, or else she'll kind of get low. We do have that ward again. And so Veggie hasn't figured it out. out. So Morgana will be pretty safe in that lane, but it is giving Corki an opportunity to kind of zone her a little bit.
So Morgana knows, Archigod knows, like it doesn't. Sejuani, she's nearby. She can only do so much. Not to mention that Maokai is a little bit far away, but will also get spotted out by the ward placement from AL. So it's there's a lot of busyness going on in the mid lane, and I think both teams are clearly looking to focus. I think they should be focusing a little bit more on the bot lane because that's where a lot of the action is. Morgana is a little bit difficult to gank. Corki's a little bit difficult to gank, but AL is so pushed up here in the bot, and Maokai now recognizing it and actually coming around from the back. The creep wave will actually spot him, so now AL's in full retreat. Random, will you be able to get away from this? Twisted Advance flashing into the bush, trying to just escape the tree. Will not be able to do it, and Super Ace is in a little bit of trouble here. Ult is still available, will save it for a rainy day.
Yeah, the big thing with Ezreal is he knew he was going down, so he actually wanted to try and get the burst onto Soraka, and Soraka was very low. We had the Ignite off, couldn't quite get those last ticks of damage, and Fiaz just very comfortable in the top lane. Both of them, will be farming very easily, and so it's kind of turning into a free farm lane. But as the game progresses, Singe can be more and more aggressive, just run right at Janna, get some of that poison damage. We see some nice harass, though, from Kiki's, just destroying Singe, but even so, Singe will be fine and just able to back off.
And Fiaz tries to get the poison in onto Janna. He's like, oh, your shield's up. Let me just run around in circles, wait till his shield's gone. As soon as the shield's gone, okay, that's your Q. Go in, poison, flip. That's all I can do, though. And all that time, while he's just running around with the poison on, it's mana lost. Farm gained, but still mana lost, and that's something you're going to be needing there. But he does decide to back. Well, we picked up Heart of Gold, second GP10, but 2 GP10s also on Kiki's here. You got the Philo Stone and the Lucky Pick. A little bit of AP, possibly a DFG later. There's going to be a lot of Millennium in a tight circle once Alistar comes into play, and once Stage 1 comes into play, who is now 6th, by the way. The prison is available, and it's an amazing ult for these ganks. May actually see Sejuani actually transitioning down to bot lane for a few more of those ganks.
Yeah, and so we actually have the nice pink ward to make sure they can keep control of that bush, because they do want to get Sejuani in there. Sejuani just barely passing by that ward, but actually didn't pop into range for it. So the ward by the race didn't catch Veggie, and he will be coming up this lane. And this is actually going to be a really aggressive gank, because not only is Alistar just constantly putting on the pressure, not only do we have so much kill potential, but they have no clue that Sejuani's here. There's the ward. Actually, really nice job. They needed to get it in there to prevent this gank, but even so, we could see a long-range gank up the lane.
But while Sejuani is trying to get in position, there is Maokai in the mid. Valkyrie waiting for it. There we go, waiting for the Twisted Advance animation to go ahead and get away. The bind is just a little bit too far off. Archigod, the ult is up, trying to get in position, but there is Veggie. There is the flash and the ult. Archigod will be able to get away, yes, but now Maokai is in a little bit of a pickle. Bind comes in, keeps Sejuani still in the bush. Maokai ult going down. He places the ult in advance, trying to telegraph where he's going to be going for all this damage. Archigod, the bind once again through the wall. The sapling, will the sapling be able to do it? No, but there comes Singe. The potion's off. Have a flip, and that will be a kill.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised when we had the Glacial Prison from Sejuani that we didn't just see Corki flash over the wall and pick up the quick kill onto Archigod. And he had enough damage with the Ignite. He could have basically insta-killed Archigod. We actually have the flash in from Kiki's trying to get the slow. He's actually one attack away from killing, but actually the Ignite is able to get it. So another kill for Kiki's, able to get in there, and he's doing pretty well for himself. But the issue is going to be how strong is Singe going to be in this game. And late game Singed is just, annoying. One of the most devastating champions in the game. He can be almost unkillable, just run around and, destroy your team. They do have a lot of kiting potential, though, and that's what you want to do against Singed. You want to disable him and kite him, so we have all this AD damage is just going to just destroy him. And if we can, keep him out of the AD face with Sejuani and with Alistar and with Janna, then very quickly he's not going to be as effective as he would like to be in fights. But he can always split push. He can try and pick people off.
So still, though, Absolute Legends still pushing down this bot lane. Ezreal, 99, Kog'Maw, 84. A little bit of a creep lead for Ezreal. Let's take a look at the gold, too. 3-3-3-3. All solid threes there. The gold is so... It's like 5 gold off bot lane with these ADs. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. But now Kiki's is looking to roam. Has the blue buff. trying to get some aggression, putting some wards over into Millennium's jungle. Let's go a little bit extra vision, and now Kiki's just, you know, full on. You know, let's go mid. Let's push this. A little bit actually lane swap action actually going on here from Absolute Legends. It's a little bit late, but you know what? This actually could work out a little bit better.
Yeah, as long as Celiver doesn't get tossed, actually does go right into Singe, and so Celiver, you know, he does have plenty of harass against Singe, but Singe just chasing him down, trying to get those poison ticks. Sejuani is coming up here, and in the meantime, Morgana and Maokai are both onto Kiki's here. He will be very close to getting out. He does not have his flash, though. Sejuani coming in the top lane, and Celiver is actually really low, so despite the fact that he's turning into Singe, there's the exhaust on him. The slow as well. If we get a toss, he will go down, but Fiaz is going to back off.
I want to say real quick, though, I do like this lane switch because, like I mentioned before, a really common item for Singe in this situation once you hit the team fight phase is Frozen Heart, and he hasn't actually started on that already. He's got the Blasting Rod, looking to go for an AP build with a little bit of damage reduction with the Ninja Tabby, but now that is such an investment, though, to start, you know, getting that out. It's about like 1350 just to get the Shroud. Twisted Advance going down. Kiki's in the mid. Ult is still down. No escape, unfortunately, but again, going back to top lane, Singe, he does not have, you know, as much armor as he would if he were just straight out going to the Frozen Heart. So it's going to make Corki a little bit more effective there to try and chunk him out. But as you saw, Janna go in the mid lane, did not have a whole lot of success against the Maokai Morgana combo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit too crushing. So Morgana, or Janna, she doesn't have any hard escape. She has a lot of survivability with her disables, but we had the ward up by the race, but not a whole lot of great ward coverage. So Maokai actually coming down the river was able to get in on there, and clg just perfectly fine in his bottom lane. We haven't really seen enough aggression. You know, they can't get in against the Soraka, and so despite the fact that, you know, Soraka and clg aren't very mobile, they are very safe and are just, you know, easily farming up in this lane. We do have a, you know, small creep advantage for Ezreal, but even so, it's pretty even. And I think once we see the fights happening, then we're going to see a little bit of the strength of Absolute Legends team. It is a very strong teamfight team. It's a really strong lane team as well, though, and they haven't been able to take as many lane advantages as they would like to. So, you know, we'll see how that works out for them. If Morgana can get in on both Ezreal and Corki, they won't be able to get kills, but they will disrupt the damage. And actually now Maokai is coming down, and Alistar a little bit caught out of position, but Enton's work has to get out of there. He has the Ignite on him. He's just got to run, so he can't get any damage. The Sejuani ult will be imminent.
Now up. Not going to use it, though, a little bit too late for that. They're trying to just keep Millennium there, and just there long enough for Sejuani's ult to come back up off cooldown, throw it down, get the team fight they wanted, but Millennium just ran away a little bit too quickly for them to be able to pull it off. But they're in a pretty good position for Dragon at the moment. They just might go ahead and do it, and Corki's not too far behind either. Oracle's also being purchased by Veggie, going to go ahead and clear out that ward. There you go. But this is it. You know, Millennium, they all know, they're all aware Dragon is being taken. Fiaz now coming in. He's charging in, trying to get that flip, but there's the Sejuani ult. Focusing down, there's the Morgana ult as well, getting 3 members of AL, but Najee will actually go ahead and kill the Alistar away. Corki plugging away from the back line, does get the kill onto the Ezreal, but now Janna and Corki have really nowhere to go except to their own tower to Morgana bind once again through the forest and this tower. Focusing Singed, it's okay. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Yeah, and so caught a little bit out. You know, EXHCL, one of the things with the AD team is you need to get to that mid to late game.
Yeah.
You need the damage, and they have some damage, but nowhere near enough right now. You know, Corki, because Corki hasn't been as successful as you would like in that mid lane, you know, just doesn't have quite a lot of damage output yet. We have the Mana Mune on Ezreal. You know, Ezreal has a nice poke, but he's not, you know, the strongest auto attack damage dealer. And so if they can't take people down before they run into him, Morgana in particular, like at this point in the game, before Morgana has the Zonias, they need to be able to just sit there and, you know, kill her. And they didn't have enough damage to do it. So Morgana was able to get the full bind on all of them, and it was just devastating. We see Morgana going for the fast Zonias, you know, definitely a smart decision there, but
yeah.
We'll see how it works out. If Absolute Legends, the former EXHCL, now Absolute Legends, if they can get off, you know, if they can get enough damage and protect their ADs, then they have a really strong teamfight team. But the key is they need the damage first.
The front line also of Millennium is actually now becoming really tanky. Rylai is actually being started by Sin. She actually should have that pretty soon. And Maokai, with the passive, That's a lot of abilities being thrown down in those team fights, especially with someone like Kog'Maw,
Yeah.
such a short cooldown. He's going to be regaining so much health in the middle of these team fights, it's going to be ridiculous. Plus the damage reduction from the ult. But actually, only top tower will actually go down for Millenium, so it's a little bit extra gold in AL's pocket. But they need the engage they want. They need the combo, need the L start. They need to focus down Kog'Maw before he gets a little bit too ridiculous. And it's going to be hard with the Morgana shield and all of the heals. You got Soraka heal, you got Soraka wish, and you have Summoner's heal on Kog'Maw as well. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to try and take out the Kog, but if you get the stun properly from Sejuani and you can kill Kog'Maw before Soraka recovers from that, then AL they can go ahead. The team fight could be theirs.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how it works. The big concern is they haven't been able to take lane advantages, and that's the double AD. You want to shut down lanes early, particularly the top lane. It would have been nice to see Corki top, but I think they wanted to get the pressure onto Morgana, slow her down a little bit. Morgana's just perfectly fine though, so we'll see how they kind of deal with it. We do have a really strong late game for Absolute Legends, but Millennium's, right now with their CC and with the Kog'Maw, they are looking fine. We do have Sejuani coming down here though, but the ward will spot her, so she is going to be fine.
Yep.
But with that Oracle, she can clear it out. Actually, buying another Oracle, she did go down in the last fight, right?
No, she didn't.
She didn't.
She's the only one that lived in that last fight. And if you're gonna pick one person to live, let it be the one with the Oracles, because that's expensive.
Yeah, so that's definitely huge for them. I mean, if they had lost the Oracles, they would just be so far behind right now. But we'll see. We do have tower advantage for them. If they can kind of roam around the map and try and pick up kills in small packs, then that's definitely to their advantage.
Yep. So now blue buff actually being passed over to Kiki's there. In Janna, you get the extra cooldown reduction. Actually, how much CDR running actually right now? Yeah, with the blue buff, you're almost maxed out. So more tornadoes, more damage, more disruption in those team fights is definitely something that AL is going to be needing in the near future. But also getting really aggressive, putting down aggressive wards, and also stealing the wraiths whenever possible. Actually, just the blue wraith. Just the timing, the angle on that tornado is just so perfect. It's like, I only want the blue one. I only want that one.
Yeah, and so Janna, is going to be fine here. Singe, the issue is Singe is just getting so tanky now, and getting the Ninja Tabby. Another issue with the double AD team is how quickly you can be countered out by some items, and Frozen Heart in particular is just crushing against AD teams. I mean, we talked about it earlier. The attack speed slow. If we see a Randuin's on to Najik as well, the Randuin's can just destroy an AD team with the attack speed slow. Yep. We do have another tower going down though, so they are taking those tower advantages. But Singed walking in with the slow, Janet can just walk right out of there with the whirlwind. So nice play there.
Yep. So Randuin's on Maokai, Frozen Heart on Singed, and then AL, they're going to be in a pretty huge disadvantage. Yeah. But there's still, though, haven't quite, there's a Heart of Gold, and there's the cloth armor on Maokai, so there's still a little bit of ways away. It's about 2,000 gold in order to finish off the Randuins. Singed has not bought anything towards the Frozen Heart, so there's still a long way for that. But there's still time. There's still time.
They do have really strong wave clearing capabilities. So with Janna and with Corki, it'll be very difficult for Millennium to push into them because they can just constantly kill the waves and not even allow them to hit the towers. So that's definitely going to be nice. We do have some nice poke from Ezreal, though there is the poke from Cog as well.
Yep.
So we'll have to see if they can kind of wear them down a little bit, or pick someone off. That'll be nice. But Millennium definitely has a fight advantage right now.
Just trying. There's going to be a fight here soon. He's waiting for a twisted advance, or waiting for the Sejuani, or waiting for something. Both teams are actually, they're pretty, in terms of engagement, could be pretty even right here. But it's just waiting for a moment, everyone. This is like an ARAM here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is when you're practicing your custom skills.
It's, so practicing out the ARAM, no backing Singe. This is ARAM. No, okay, we're good. Fine. But actually, no, Ezreal actually taking this moment.
Yeah, that's definitely a really smart decision.
Split push. This is the right call here. You see someone back, you might as well go ahead, push another lane.
It's less so that Singed back. It's that they know with just Corki and Janna alone, just the two of them, they could almost 2v5 hold off the base. Just barely out of the range of Maokai.
A lot of damage.
With just Corki and Janna, they can just sit here and constantly kill the waves and never let them engage. So if that's the case, case, then go ahead and split push with someone else on your team. Azriel can pressure the bottom lane. We do see the bind, though. We'll see if it follows up. We actually have the Maokai as well, and Kiki's going down instantly. We have Sejuani, has to get out of there, but the bind from Morgana will be very close to taking him down, and they should be able to retreat. We have Super Ace with the ultimate, and now Ezreal walking right into it, but he barely gets that arcane shift right over the wall.
Ward going over through the river onto the ledge, trying to get another twisted advance, but it's not going to happen. But hey, look, Dragon is back up. Millennium might as well just go ahead and grab it real quick. But yeah, Kiki's was just out there a little bit too far, paid the price, but it's okay. Going to have a death cap now, a little bit extra damage, but still though, the engagements need to happen. You built your comp around Sejuani for a reason, so you can go ahead and just combo Alistar and Janna and everyone together. If you don't get your combo, everything, if you don't get your combo, or if someone gets focused out real quick, one of your pivotal members like Janna or one of your ADs, things can fall apart really quickly right there. And there is now enough damage on Millennium to just go ahead and melt someone if they catch someone off guard. And Kog'Maw is actually 4-0-1, looking pretty healthy here. Actually, almost has as much gold as Singe. He's pretty well fed at the moment.
Yeah, and Corki just actually like 200 gold off of finishing that Triforce, so could consider selling Adorans. Isn't actually going to, but really needs to get that damage output. And right now, the damage is just way too low from Corki. They can't, Absolute Legends, they can't stand up to Millennium because they just don't have enough damage. But we'll see. If once Corki gets to Triforce, if Corki can kind of pick it up and get a Bloodthirster as well, and then Ezreal get a Triforce, then very quickly their damage output is going to be pretty large. The concern is we're getting into the super late game builds for Millennium, and we're getting into for Singe getting that glacial shroud to build into the Frozen Heart, and it's just going to be so difficult to deal with him that slow. He can always just split push a lane, and I'm not sure that anyone could lane against Singe right now for Absolute Legends. So just the fact that they don't have a counter to him, and then they don't have a means of killing the front line to get to Cog.
Yeah, not to mention there's an Aegis now onto Maokai. Everyone's going to be a little bit more tanky. And Kog'Maw actually looking to get the green elixir. Going to be popping that the next available team fight. All that extra attack speed, all that extra crit. He's got the Infinity Edge. He's got the Zeal. Looking for just absolute pure damage in the next team fight, which may very well be pretty soon because Baron is up. Wards are going down around there from both teams. Veggie getting a little bit out of position once again. And that's the thing. You saw Veggie get caught out in the bush a little bit earlier. And Sejuani, and the range on the ult is not too bad. It's actually really good, but you don't need to be that far out of position in order to get the engage you want. And if you're going to be caught out of position, you're going to take damage and you're going to pay the price. And now Millennium once again getting more wards. More wards, always a good thing over by the Baron area. Fia's actually going to go ahead and back just a little bit. Probably should have enough money to finish off the Shroud. Oh yeah, more than enough. More than enough.
Yeah, and so we do see Absolute Legends kind of, hanging out around that Baron area. If they push the mid, they can, get vision. They see, okay, either Millennium is doing Baron, in which case they're not defending the tower, so we know they're there, or they come and, counter the push. So even without a ward onto Baron, they can kind of keep an eye on where they are by just constantly pushing this mid lane aggressively. So, that's definitely a nice play. It's going to be tough, though. If any of them get caught off, you'll see them die almost instantly like last time. We do have Ezreal going down to the bottom lane, so there's no vision yet for Millennium. Maokai is still in base, so he has a little bit of time, but he's definitely going to want to kill this wave pretty quickly because he needs to get back up to Baron, and otherwise it's going to be very close. They might not have enough damage to fight this.
Wave just throws off the wave, throws off the ult to try and clear, and you see that beam of light going across the map, and Millennium knows, okay, Ezreal, he's down bot lane. It's time to go. Everyone's here. Let's try and get this Baron as aggressively as possible before Ezreal can go ahead and rejoin with the rest of the team. Absolute Legends, 3 of them here with Alistar in the back, looking to get aggressive here. Millennium, they started the fight, but Veggie's caught out way too far in front, tries to dash away. Ult is down. He actually gets a stun there onto Najik as well. Fia's trying to get away. Why are you focusing the Singed? Don't chase the Singed. There you go. The Zonia is going down onto Archigod, but the damage will not be enough because he's a nice, pretty golden statue. Will not be taking any damage from that. But Maokai there trying to go. Everyone's flashing. Everyone's trying to get the further stuns. But there's plenty of damage on Millennium to keep them back. Orca God may not be able to get out of that one, though. Is this enough damage? Yes, Slaver will be able to go ahead and get the missiles.
And that kill basically just might have saved them the Baron.
Yeah.
And there's still the serious threat that we will see this Baron onto Millennium, but with the range poke from both Corki and Ezreal, they can counter that out some, and so Millennium actually has to back. And if they weren't able to grab that kill into Arca God very quickly, we probably would have seen a Baron. It would have been pretty easy, and so just awesome play there. They recognized that, you know, he was a little bit out of position, the quick burst, and that definitely worked out for him. But again, they don't have enough damage right now to deal with Millennium. So that, I mean, that was almost game there, but
yeah, it's not a fight won, it's a fight delayed, which everyone's just immediately now running all the way back, straight back to the Baron area. Sejuani did not rebuy the Oracles, still down, getting caught out a little bit too far. Maokai's right there. Maokai's right there. Okay, gonna be able to get still to safety, but Veggie's been getting caught out quite a bit, and it's quite unfortunate, and that's the reason a lot of these fights are starting and not also capitalizing, not getting all the damage or the stun necessary on the ult. That's your primary means of initiation here, and you're only using it just to try and escape safely. It's quite unfortunate. But also, last fight, AL, you know, that's one of the core rules of League of Legends. You know, for a lot of people just starting out, don't chase the Singe, and you see both the ADs just focusing, trying to chunk him out, trying to get out of the fight. Meanwhile,
he's the frontline guy, and as a double AD comp, you need to attack the frontline guy. So you know, even though Singed is really tanky, they need to just kite him back and kill him. And the issue is if their team splits and they get, you know, they need all of them to be kiting and all of them to be attacking Singed and backing off. The issue is when some of them are, you know, in the middle of the team, but actually Alistar is going to get caught off. He will have the slow any second now. There's going to be the toss, and so Alistar throws off the pulverize. Will have his ultimate, but even so, he is going down. So another pick-off kill for Millennium, and they have the initiation potential right now, even though, you know, Veggie has the better initiation ability. It's just the fact that Millennium is in such a strong position. We do see the mid tower going down, and Singed actually sitting mid, but even so, the rest of the team is taking Baron, and it's going to be extremely difficult for them to defend this.
Yeah, with Singed, the main front line.
Oh, Soraka, will she die to Baron?
It may actually happen. No, the shield actually going down, protect her just a little bit. Still has the heals available. Ezreal is back with the rest of the team, trying to just focus down as much damage as possible onto Maokai, but Veggie may actually be caught out once again. The Morgana ult will not finish, but that's okay because Kog'Maw is here with the artillery. Man, Singed a little bit too far out, but you know it's okay. He's got a lot of health. He's got the poison. He's just farting as he's walking away. Magic here with the Maokai, trying to get the twisted advance onto someone, trying to continue the damage spread. Artillery just trying to see if anyone is still around.
But you look at that situation. We have the bind. Oh, not going to hit anyone. So they're able to get the blue. You look at that situation, and you know we saw the Baron was delayed, and we saw Ezreal was able to take a mid tower. So that's perfectly fine with Absolute Legends. They want to just keep on stalling this game. And Millennium, they have a really strong teamfight team. They want to get engaged, but Ezreal and Corki are both very, you know, survivable, can get out of there very easily. Janna, you know, can get them escapes very easily. And so Millennium, even though they're winning these fights, they can't, you know, quite follow up and finish up on it. And so in the meantime, it's allowing Absolute Legends to farm up, get into that late game. They get another tower. They get some map presence. Bot lane is now pushing for them, so they have the push bot lane.
Oracle's on Janna.
Yeah, Oracle's on Janna, so everything is kind of starting to catch back up. Even though they were behind, you know, we have more and more damage coming now for Absolute Legends. So if they can finish off their builds, if they can continue to hold off, then they could actually turn this around and make it happen.
But the DFG now being purchased onto Janna, just anyone on the front line, either Maokai or Singed, if they really just need to focus, if they are in a situation where they have no choice but to focus the frontline champ, that's going to do wonders for them. That's a good like 1,300 damage straight up on Singed, no problem. Because remember, he's buying a lot of armor. This magic damage, it's not going to be doing a whole lot to that. And granted, he's a naturally tanky dude. I mean, magic resistance is actually also still pretty high on him, but that armor, 232 armor on Singe, jeez, that's quite a bit. But now AL going around the corner, getting free engage onto the Wolves, actually focusing down Dax, getting Soraka out of the fight. That is absolutely what they needed to try and go ahead and take this, but Morgana is there in the middle, trying to get the ult. Stuns are still going down, but Maokai is also still around in this fight. Will get chunked out? Yes, he will, but Sejuani's down. Janna is down. There's still a possibility for Absolute Legends here to get in. Ezreal has no option but to shift away, but the Kog'Maw is just a little bit too strong. A free turn hit and the artillery shot. Nice prediction. Will be able to still pick him up. And Millennium, even though they were the ones at the severe disadvantage in that fight with the initiation, they still came out on top. That's got to be a clue as to how Absolute Legend feels right now. They got the engage they wanted. That's absolutely what they wanted. Dax was out of the fight, no more heals, and they still could not take it.
Yeah, and I think they were really just hoping that maybe there were only 4 members there. You know, pick off the quick Soraka. That was definitely nice for them.
Yeah.
Ezreal almost made it out, and Ezreal is just, you know, he has so much movement speed, but the Phantom Dancer on Cog was able to keep him up. We saw him, you know, dodge that last ultimate. Yeah, well, it doesn't give him movement speed.
Oh, it's not good, but it gives him the extra attack speed.
Right,
but it gives him all the damage.
Right, but I'm saying, like, Ezreal, you know, Corki and Ezreal, they know that they're really safe because they can just run out of there, but Cog chasing them down, so, you know, they're losing the initial fights, and then they can't, you know, turn around. So they want, like, these long fights. If they can take down Cog with that burst, then, you know, maybe this is a different story, and we're seeing, okay, Cog goes down in that quick initiation, and now maybe they win this fight. And Absolute Legends just trying to take some risks and get themselves back in this game.
I don't think they're going to find another opportunity like that for the rest of this game, though, because that was just a little bit... That was kind of like, that was it. That was like, that may have very well been like your one shot. And after an engagement like that, Millenium is not going to put themselves in a position like that again unless they royally screw up with someone completely out of position. It's going to be tricky for him. And even then, Absolute Legends, you know, in prior fights have actually found themselves to be found out a little bit more often than Millenium has. The slow going down, Corki has no option but the Valkyrie away to avoid from getting flipped. But, you know, the last bastion of hope there, Ezreal split pushing down bot while everyone from Millenium is mid. He has no choice. He does have to recall back or else they're going to go ahead and lose their mid-tier 3. Fiaz going in, getting the flip onto Veggie, and the focus coming down. Palistar with the headbutt. Pulverize trying to keep people still, but Dax may actually still go down. So now Morgana's in a bit of trouble. She is extremely low, and Slaver is caught out in front of Valkyrie. Just comes back half of cooldown. Kiki's down front trying to keep everyone still, but Ezreal is now joined the fight, trying to chunk out somebody. Dax is gone. AL actually leaving that fight pretty fine. No one's died.
And the thing is, they can push the waves so easily. And we talked about that earlier, how they can just, you know, constantly clear the creep waves to stall off these pushes. And so as a result, Millenium, even though they're really ahead, they had to tank the tower, and they had to just walk up because of, you know, the clearing capabilities. And Soraka was actually the one tanking it. So
of all people, you had to have the Soraka tank it, you jerks.
And so you know that probably won't happen again with Soraka tanking it. But even so, underneath the tower, they have a little bit more potential. And actually, with the double AD, they're rushing Baron. They have plenty of kill potential.
They have no choice.
The rest of the team isn't there. Singed and Maokai are the only ones who are going to be here, and they are going to kill it extremely quickly. They should be able to get it down in time. And actually, Absolute Legends, they're able to take the Baron right under their nose. The headbutt to get Najik out of there.
Nicely timed headbutt from Alistar to get Najik through the wall. They probably would have wanted him to keep still, but you know what? It's okay. They got Baron. Now, Absolute Legends, they have, you know, now they have the cards. Now they can go ahead and call the shots for the next few minutes.
You watch this game, and you have to keep asking yourself almost, how has Absolute Legends not lost already? And it's just, it's awesome play, you know, all around on their part, even though Millenium has been crushing the entire game. And Millenium, you know, Arc God and Najik with the, you know, perfect combinations for the ultimates. Yeah. Antonswerg just absolutely dominant this game. You know, he has so much farm, so many kills, and the Cog is just such an unstoppable force, but even so, Absolute Legends is able to hold it out, is able to push it into that late game, and it's starting to get to that point in time where you always have to consider the fact that, you know, the next team fight could decide it. And with the double AD, you know, the ADs scale so well into late game. They are so farmed, both of them having over 10,000 gold. So if they can, you know, continue to build upon that damage, very quickly we could see a turnaround. But even so, Singed with the Randoines and the Frozen Heart is going to be almost unkillable. Veggie, I'm not sure what his thought process was in there.
It was a nice juke, you gotta say that though. But Cog did go back, waited at spawn just for a moment, sold the Dorns, and just straight up bought out a Bloodthirster. Maybe bring that a little bit more sustained into those team fights. Plus, he still has a Phantom Dancer from earlier, but AL has the Baron. They're going to go ahead and try and push this advantage as much as they can because they know they don't have much time. If they want to go ahead and make a difference here, take some towers, take some hitters, now is the opportunity. Tornado going down to clear the way. Ezreal out in front just trying to poke out at the tower, but nice headbutt to keep the Singed away from the rest of the team, as well as the Jaina ult bind going down onto Jaina. She should be focused on, but Najik is being focused on as well, but Kiki's will actually blow up pretty quickly. Arc of God getting 3 people with the ult. The headbutt keeping her in place. The Zonias will keep her safe for just a moment, but for how long? But no, the Ezreal ult over the wall from the Wraith area will still actually be able to pick up the kill. Now AL has no choice but to split. Alistar will be able to get away with the artillery shots, not getting there, but Ezreal trying to get some sneaky kills. Will he be able to shift away to safety? The artillery shot 1. He is slowed. Will he be able to get away soon? So, he's got a long, though this is the longest run for Ezreal. He's so far deep.
He's kind of just
territory.
stalling for his team right now.
He's trying to stall as much as possible, but Maokai
he's walking
is actually
right
back
into the
up.
Maokai.
The twisted advance will keep him still for just a moment. Singe will be able to get there in time. There is the slow to shift. And unfortunate.
Yeah,
so
but it's actually, it's kind of interesting. So you could look at it one of two ways. Ezreal basically just running in and getting himself killed, but he held off long enough, so even though they had lost the fight, Millenium, again, wasn't able to take any advantages of it, and now Celiver able to come down, get the dragon, continue to help them farm up. He can go farm bot lane, and, you know, just stalling them. But again, they're just losing the fight so badly. They couldn't even kill, you know, Archagod. We had the Ezreal ult, you know, finally over the wall getting him, but they need to be able to kill him as he's walking into their team. They need to back off and have that frontline killing potential, and it's far too slow and, you know, difficult for them. So, you know, we'll see how it works. AP actually has a really nice amount of burst damage, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of it other than just pushing the waves. So, you know, once we get into the later and later game and see all that damage from Corki and Ezreal, we'll maybe see some of these frontline champions going down, but they are all protecting for Kog'Maw, and he is basically a god right now.
He pretty much is. But look at Corki and look at Ezreal. Zeke's Herald, you get the attack speed, you get the lifesteal. Double Last Whisper. They recognize these guys, frontline, are really tanky. 2 Randuin's Omens. You have the Frozen Heart.
But the attack speed slow is just so disruptive. So
it is.
It's so difficult for them to kill champions like Singe right now, and if they attack him, then they're losing out on so much DPS.
But you know, I think, you know, when you have a team like that stacking so much armor, though, it's kind of like you're forced into buying the item. Otherwise, you're going to be doing really no damage in the event you do happen to focus him out and try and kill him. But I don't know, it's getting really tricky, and it's also, we're getting towards the super end game point, usually past like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, where it was getting close to where the next team fight could actually decide the game, because everyone will be nearly maxed out or getting close to those end game item builds, and it's just a ping pong battle back and forth, and next Baron should be coming up in a few minutes, and there's still a lot of objectives to be taken, but there goes Singe popping the Insanity Potion, but very quickly you get the flip, and Janet is just focused out way too quickly. Chunked out, bursted, whatever you like to call it. Janet just goes down immediately. But Absolute Legends, they're still there, able to defend the tower, clearing all the waves. Kiki's getting a little bit too far out there.
Yeah, with this next wave, they can probably take this tower down. And so as long as Singed and Maokai are the two up front tanking, they're too tanky at this point, we will see Kog'Maw just wearing at that tower. He can kill it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be a really aggressive no snare going to hit. But actually, the Maokai twisted advance onto Sejuani, and then the toss back. Alistar is in the middle of the team, and Morgana chasing the ADs out of there, and Kog'Maw is perfectly fine in the back line. But now they are actually pushing back into him. Morgana has to back off. We have the exhaust onto Celiver. He has to get out of there. The slow going off as well. But in the meantime, Kog is okay, and now is turning onto this tower, getting some of that harass that he needed to get earlier, taking a little bit of damage from Ezreal, though. And once again, Absolute Legends is able to stall, is able to hold off this push.
Morgana ult actually whiffed in the middle of that fight. It went down. You heard the breath. You heard the but no one was snared. No one was caught in it. Everyone just scattered, and you know, perfect timing from AL to try and go ahead and escape that.
They really need to just attack the turret, and I think, you know, they had them zoned out there. They're looking for this one just kill fight that they're like, oh yeah, we're so strong right now. We kill them one time and the game is over. We take the whole Nexus, and Absolute Legends playing, you know, really safe. Just they can't allow Millenium to kill them, and so they're, you know, not allowing it to happen. As a result, really, Millenium, they need to zone them off like they did, and then just take down the turret with Kog'Maw.
But also, keep in mind, though, Millenium, every time they've done a huge push like that, it's always been in the mid. Notice top and bot lanes. Yeah, but they know they can't really go ahead and be aggressive, you know, in all 3 lanes because of the wave clearing capabilities of AL. In a pinch, Ezreal can just go ahead, enter any lane, throw off the ult, and everything's hunky-dory. But, you know, they have to go ahead and keep on pressuring these deep objectives, like the tier 3 in the mid, and like Baron and like Dragon. And they're getting ready. Baron should actually be up in any second now. The wards are cleared here for Absolute Legends. Dax does have the Oracles, and they're just getting ready, and Absolute Legends, they're a little bit split. They're still in the mid. There's Baron. The crosshairs are up. There's the Skull and Bones, and Millenium might be trying to bait this. This could be pretty hairy.
Yeah, we do have some nice checking capabilities with both Ezreal and Corki, but they have to watch out. And
off.
now with Singed in the mid, that has to be their cue that we are having this Baron go down, and it is going to go down extremely quickly. They can't defend it, so we will have Millenium taking that Baron. And now what we've seen is, Absolute Legends, they're able to stall and just slowly wear down Millenium with that poke damage. That's not going to work anymore because poke damage against Baron, the Baron regen that you get is just too high. It really counters it out so effectively. So as a result, at Millenium, they can start to push in now aggressively, and they're actually starting off with the top lane. They'll push down the top lane, probably transition into mid, or split push with Singed. Actually, Absolute Legends is going to take advantage of this while they're backing and maybe take a turret here.
al.eu just going to go straight out into the front with the Jade Shield, just try and take it out as much as possible. Fia's getting this slow. Shirelia's being popped to try and counteract it just a little bit, but they realize they have Baron. They've all backed. No more vision on the map. We should probably get out of here because this is a very dangerous situation. Not to mention there's also a pretty hefty wave pushing up on the top lane. You may want to go ahead and clear that. Ezreal's got it. He can go ahead and take care of it all with one good ult. But still, Millenium in the mid with Baron pushing on up, and this time they should be definitely a little bit more successful than before. And the mid tier 3, it's already nearly half health. Not everyone is here. Here comes the push. Ezreal needs to catch up. Corki needs to catch up. Your two main damage dealers are not here to help clear this wave. You got to get here quick. And there's Ezreal. There's Corki. Now everyone's here. Now it's a party. Is going to go ahead and wait for the next main wave to try and pressure this.
Yeah, and the issue is again that they have no means of dealing with the Kog'Maw in the back line.
1,000 hit point crit? Did I just see that? Did I just see a crit for 1,000? I think I did.
At this point in the game, yeah, he's got enough damage. He could probably crit for 1,000.
That is insane. That is insane.
Yeah, and it's such an aggressive push. Kog can just wear down this tower. We will have the binds over the walls. Hopefully no one is hit by Archigod there. Actually, he hits Corki, and so Corki's going to go down. The Janna ult actually gets him out of there. If he had gone down, that would have been devastating, but they do get the mid turret, and that is basically it for this inhibitor. There's no way they can defend it now with that mid turret down.
That's it. Those are crits. Those are crits coming in from Kog'Maw for 1,000 HP a shot onto those mains. That is just absolutely absurd at this point in the game. It's not far too unexpected. You have a IE, you have a Last Whisper, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster. These are the end game builds of these champs, and Kog'Maw, he absolutely has the range to just go ahead and poke away at AL. Not to mention, it's with Baron buff. Baron buff is pretty good. So, going to go ahead, the wave is here. They have the advantage. You can continue to press it, push down the top turret, trying to grab all the objectives that they could not earlier because now they have the superior pushing power.
Yeah, and this is almost the beginning of the end with the Baron down, with how strong their team fights are, with how strong Kog'Maw is. Archigod just sitting there trying to get some zoning. We do have a bot turret going down for Absolute Legends from the pushing wave, but even so, having that mid turret down, Absolute Legends can't stall anymore, and so they've been stalling for a long time, able to successfully stay the Millenium force, but at this point in time, mid is going to push, and they can just push down top lane and force a fight, and Absolute Legends is, just can't stand up to them.
They have no choice. They have to stay back. They have to stay defensive into tier 3 up at the top, and now Millenium, they have
look, Athene's and Holy Grail.
Oh, hey, why not? There you go. Might as well. You get some extra cooldown reduction. You get the extra mana. But the thing is, though, I don't think Janna at this point is really going to be getting any kills.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird build. There's really no reason for it to be there when compared with other AP items. We have the bind on the Veggie, though. Sid's trying to get in here, but will back off. Some nice bursts from Janna, and they're actually turning it around.
Absolute Legends, this is their time. Morgana got a little bit too far out there. The spell shield just barely keeping her alive, but there goes the Maokai ult. Has no option but to put it down. Ping's going down from Millenium to go ahead and grab the blue buff while they're still here in the neighborhood. But yeah, that was the best opportunity AL could have for an engage. They took it, and they managed to deflect them just for long enough.
And the big thing is AL, they don't want to hard engage. They just know we need to fight them and force them off of this tower because we have the mid lane. We need to get some momentum in the mid lane. It's constantly pushing into us. It was about to, we had a huge wave that was about to hit the Nexus, so they back them off for a second. But now Kog'Maw just destroying this top tower, and Veggie coming in once again, trying to zone him off. But the next wave, it will probably go down.
Baron buff is gone. Super minions are pushing ever so closer into the Nexus. They have no choice. Absolute Legends has to go ahead and take care of it. Corky's going to be on minion duty real quick. The bind over the wall, actually smacking Keys, and there's a Shirelius pop. They're going in, there's a slow, but they realize the error of their ways. Corky is back. Sejuani ult is not going to be up, at least for another 15 seconds. If they can delay it as much, they may have a chance to go ahead and take back this fight. The tier 3 tower is actually gone in the top now, and Random trying to go in chase, but they're not going to be able to do it.
Millenium recognizes now, we saw it earlier, Absolute Legends has been able to stall these pushes. They can clear the creep waves, they can, prevent themselves from dying. So instead of using their brute force to try and just, kill Absolute Legends outright, they're just zoning them and allowing Kog'Maw to wear down the turrets. So one inhibitor's down, they're going to go back and buy. They will be able to take the second inhibitor. So just playing really safe, and it's just going to be very difficult for them to get any advantages. Now we have the Zeke's Herald on the Soraka as well, so that only increases Kog'Maw's killing potential and survivability, and so it's just there's not a whole lot of options. And Absolute Legends, they recognize they need to make plays happen, and they're actually coming down here getting the red. We'll see if they try and have a hard engage, maybe while Millenium is kind of split.
Dragon is Fiaz is actually going to go ahead and check things out. Dragon's still there. Yeah, he's still there. You guys want to go ahead? Maybe might want to go ahead and take that Dragon, but actually he's going to go ahead and pass. Kog'Maw is actually not with the team yet, as we're going to go ahead and clear the wave down bot real quick. So if all of Millenium were actually here in mid, that would be a time to engage when Morgana and Kog'Maw a little bit too far behind. But this is hitting the almost hitting the 50-minute mark. Next team fight, next team fight could actually decide the game. We've been at that point for quite a while now. But still, though, AL is doing such a great job at deflecting the push. And last, when the Baron buff was on Millenium, they managed to get 4 towers plus an inhib, because all the chunk, that's a huge amount of damage going on onto the Singe. But there's the Maokai ult, and the Morgana ult will only be able to get Alistar in the middle of all that. And Singe is actually running away from this fight. But Kog'Maw, he does have a GA now, will be able to be back in there, but should be getting chucked out pretty quickly. The Sejuani does go down, but the Kog goes down as well. Maokai does have to leave, but the Zhonya is going down to Morgana just to try and protect her for a little bit while Singe, look how low Singe has actually gotten from all the bursts from AL. There's still pursuit. Kiki's does flash over. We get
the quick burst.
The quick slow from Kiki's actually taking Singed outright. And now Absolute Legends has actually gone and taken back control of this game. Albeit they are a little bit weak and Random. Just like
they might lose that top inhibitor. It's very close to going down, but in the meantime, Ezreal wants the kill. It does go down, which is such a shame.
The find not going to be able to hit the Ezreal. Will we be able to get one more auto tech? The red buff actually going to go ahead and grab it. Archigod, will we go in?
I believe.
Will he be a hero?
Yes.
He's a hero going for it. Going for the double kill
but
and
even
the
so,
ace.
2 inhibitors. Oh, no, it didn't go down. The top one didn't go down. The mid one respawned.
Wow.
So the unthinkable is almost happening. Not only did Absolute Legends just finally turn around this fight, but they also get their inhibitor up. And so the stall has worked. They are into this late game, and everyone's down. Corky and Ezreal
this is the opportunity.
Can almost 2-man Baron. Kiki's probably needs to get up there, but it's going to be close. They have the Zeke's Herald onto Corky, so he is actually tanking pretty easily. They have plenty of damage to do it, so yes, they are actually going to be able to take it out with just the 2 of them. And it's just insane. Absolute Legends have stalled the entire game. And now, just finally, just barely, the inhibitor was Nick is sitting outside, and he's like tearing his hair out.
And you know what? I was going to say it in frustration before, but I think now is the time definitely to say is, what is going on? What's going
on is Absolute Legends has picked up a new team, EXHCL. They had clg.eu in the past. They had curse.eu in the past. And EXHCL, they are the new Wonder Boys. We'll see if they can finish it off.
They're not done yet, though. They're not done.
No, of course. This game is just starting now, almost.
There's still only a 500 gold difference between these two teams. We are 50 minutes
These guys,
in.
they're basically right now just cracking their knuckles and sitting back. All right, guys. Now we've got ourselves a match. It's a showdown, and we'll see who's going to come out on top. But the entire game was building up to this point, and it just exploded. And the thing is, Singe, he has so much survivability against that physical damage.
Not anymore. Not anymore. He doesn't.
But it's the magic damage. So Janna now has so much burst. Janna took Singe down to probably 30% by herself, and then you had the follow-up. Corki,
holy crap!
Corki,
holy crap!
Yeah, that's AP Janna for you. And Corki has the follow-up damage. He's got the true damage on his passive. He has the magic damage on his abilities. That's always be Janna. That is why, because Janna is a goddess.
That is an 800 magic damage slow. The Tornado, the Whirling Gale, does over 600. The Monsoon, if you get your healing that much, you're healing almost 400 health a second.
What a great descriptor, much.
The shield is 800. The shield, 800 damage that thing prevents. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. This is insanity.
Yeah, that's what happens with AP Janna. It's such a strong build. We'll see. You know, if we get someone picked off by Millenium, then it's over. Like that's how they are going to win these fights. But Absolute Legends now, they have the damage, and for the first time in the game, you see the fear in Millenium. We have the toss back, but it's Sejuani.
It's not much.
Sejuani's tanky enough, no big deal. And now we have the fear in the eyes of Millenium, and they have to be a little bit careful here. They still have Kog'Maw, they still have Singed and Morgana. They have so many disables and the background Kog'Maw. But you saw in that last fight, Ezreal was actually able to take down Kog'Maw. He was able to get into the back line, even through the GA. So the GA is down right now. The GA will be down for another 2 minutes or so. So, that is... Oh, no, I'm completely off on that. Another 30 seconds.
There's still some time for it to get a kill off while the GA is down, and actually they're going for it. There's the flip onto the Corki. Morgana's actually able to shut him down. The ult will be able to go ahead and grab the Ezreal. Is going to be out of the fight for just a little while longer. The Maokai ult and come down protecting him, and actually Millenium should be able to go ahead and deflect this straight out, almost actually countering with an ace.
That's it. They needed to pick someone off. The quick burst from Ezreal, though, if he actually gets one more, then he could maybe stall.
This is definitely an opportunity for Ezreal to go ahead and be a hero. He just needs to go up and catch up with the rest of Millenium. We already got the Morgana kill, and he definitely has the damage output.
There's no time. There is no time. They had to pick off the snare hitting Corki, and that was it. The Corki snare, they were able to follow it up with Singe, and without the Corki damage, they just missed out on so much of their team.
This is it, Ezreal. Elite Random, this is your time to be a hero.
Cog is so close to going down. If he can take down Cog, they can maybe hold off, but they have enough time for the Nexus turrets, and Cog with the Soraka, the GA is up now, and this is going to be it. They can push down this Nexus. Ezreal doesn't have enough damage to take them down.
Ezreal, this is one man against the world, having to shift away to get away from the Singe flip. The Singe flip could absolutely mean sheer disaster for this game, but this may very well be it. The second Nexus turret is down. There's the flip. Now you're trapped, and now you have nowhere to go. But wow.
It's the Corki pickoff. The Corki pickoff. They needed both of their AD's damage. Corki going down instantly, and that cannot happen. When you have a 2-tank team and when you have a Janna in the front line, you cannot allow your backline ADs to get caught in a snare from Morgana, and you can't allow them to, get Singed and Maokai right up in their face. So Absolute Legends almost able to pull it out, but didn't quite happen. Millenium holding on in the end.
Wow.
They had controlled the entire game with such, expert precision. Kog'Maw the entire game, one death. The one fight that Absolute Legends was able to win, but 14 kills for Kog'Maw. Engines were just absolutely crushing them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's...
Wow.
And game number one, Absolute Legends destroyed Millenium, and it started off with Celiver in the mid lane. Game number one, he had the Vladimir against the Morgana, and he obliterated. Like, it was just painful watching Archigod fall so far behind. But game number two, they came back. They were angry. They, wanted to take it to Absolute Legends. They had the AP, they had the AoE comp, they had the disables, they had the Singe. They were able to take it to him, and Kog'Maw, the man of the hour, all of their team played, phenomenally well and able to pick up the win. We're going into a game number three, guys.
We're going to game 3.
Millenium versus EXHCL, and this is an awesome match. We've seen some unusual comps, both game 1 and game number 2.
Like
game 3 is going to be cool.
This is sheer insane. This is round of 16 on the E. I wish the NA games were this exciting. I wish they were. I mean,
Once we see teams like TSM again,
yeah.
It's going to be cool. I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah, but
with the MLG,
but
there's going to be great matches. But right here,
this is insane. This is absolutely insane.
This is a really awesome match, guys.
Wow.
If you're not watching right now, get people in it. We've got Kevin Naki, the man outside, doing a little jig for us and just showing off his moves.
Everyone in the office so far, they've been watching the series. They've been coming down, like
shaking their heads in disgust. We have a transparent door
into the office, and everyone is just looking straight into my eyes and going, "What is going on?" Like this is a crazy series. Go grab a snack. Go make some popcorn. Take a potty break if you need to. We're gonna be right back with game number 3, Millenium and Absolute Legends EU. This is huge. This is a fantastic series. We will be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.